All time for debate has expired. Pursuant to House Resolution 911, the previous question is ordered on the motion. The question is on adoption of the motion. Those in favor say aye.
Negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example,
So Donald Trump is threatening a veto, and we might get $2,000 checks instead of the $600 checks instead. If they don't get this thing signed by whatever, then the government shuts down. So this is a huge deal. Donald Trump is threatening to veto the COVID bill because of all the pork, and he said it was a disgrace. It took a long time, and he wanted $2,000 checks instead of the $600 checks. I don't know what to make of any of this. We need $2,000 a month until the COVID pandemic is done and over with. So maybe this is his last hurrah to get us started on the right path, which is what we should have done a year ago. But the president, the outgoing president, the lame duck president, continues on.
Among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military.
$1.3 billion for Egypt and the military dictatorship. Where do they buy those weapons from, Donald?
Which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment.
So $1.3 billion straight to the Russians and the Egyptian military junta?
$25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala.
So a lot of this is foreign aid, and a lot of this is, just standard operating procedure. He's not going to mention the $500 million that was given to Israel. He's not going to mention the $33 million that were given for democracy programs in Venezuela, right? And it also makes illegal streaming a felony, so 5,500 pages. But he does, hit it hard.
Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise,
let's take a listen to Anna yelling at Gene Kugar for a second.
You want me to call you smart? You want me to call you a master legislator?
I know, Jake. Everyone is stupid. No, it's very effective. It's extremely effective to dedicate all of your commentary to calling people stupid. I'm not saying that I agree with people who go along with Donald Trump or Mitch McConnell. I'm talking about strategy. Okay? I'm talking about reasonable people who literally don't do what we do all day, every day for a living. They maybe don't know.
No, Anna, in this case, I'm not.
Maybe they're only exposed to a conservative media bubble where they're not getting the facts.
No.
But our job, our only purpose here, literally our only purpose here, is persuasion.
Okay, now. So the reason why I'm pointing this out is Voss was sitting there saying Jimmy Dore only talks to AOC just like this, and that's it, and that wasn't true. But it's just incredible that Anna is yelling at Jink right there, and is that how she treats everybody? Is that like a flaw in her character? Anyways, back to Donald.
These facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf.
$20 million for what?
Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp.
$25 million to combat Asian carp?
$2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
$2.5 million to count the amount of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
A provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries. $3 million in poultry production technology. $2 million to research the impact of down trees. $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I am also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
So maybe I got this from Nico House. Check him out. Maybe he'll still be in. No, he's not going to stay in there. But that's he did shit all over the bill, and hopefully that this veto threat will get the $2,000 checks. Now there's an article here, WFLA, and they have Nancy Pelosi with her tweet saying Republicans repeatedly refuse to say what amount the president wanted for direct checks. At last, the president has agreed to $2,000. Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor this week by unanimous consent. Let's do it. So Nancy Pelosi is like, oh, I was all down with $2,000 the whole time. $2,000, that's exactly what do you mean? Yeah, that's what I said. Chuck Schumer, we spent months trying to secure $2,000 checks, but the Republicans blocked it. Trump needed to sign the bill to help people and keep the government open. We're glad to pass more aid Americans need. Maybe Trump can finally make himself useful and get Republicans not to block it again. And then Lindsey Graham says, you know, we just got to get this shit out. Just fucking pass it and let's go home, go to, you know, Jesus Christ, I got turkey, you know, at home for Christmas and shit. Brianna Joy Gray, she tweets out, not keen to entertain complaints about Pelosi from folks unwilling to push progressives to oust her. Yeah. Yeah, you all hate Pelosi so much, but don't pressure her to get Medicare for all. Last but not least, the David Sirotto article came up, Daily Poster, wrote it with some other ones. He's saying, let's force the vote on direct aid. Force the vote on direct aid. So everybody wants $2,000, right? So Pelosi, Schumer, Trump, $2,000. We're probably going to get $2,000, right? They're going to just scribble $2,000 in there and print up the money that we need in order to get that, you know. So I don't think we need to force the vote on direct aid. I think direct aid is going to come. I think we have to force the vote on Medicare for all. So the direct aid, $2,000. That's we're on the right track with that one, and maybe we can, I don't know, get it, you know, monthly, because we need $2,000 every month until this thing is done and over with. Peace.